Charlamagne the God has a direct line to millions of people on his daily morning show, The Breakfast Club. Last November, despite his disappointment with the election, he told me he was optimistic about Trump's second term. So we checked in with him again this week to get his reaction to Trump's first year back in office.
Has this year been better or worse than what you anticipated?
Man, that's a great question. After the election, I said to myself, all he has to do is not do everything that all his critics say he's going to do.
Right.
Literally, don't do the Project 2025, don't have authoritarian strategy, don't go after your political opponents. Don't make this, this new presidency about, revenge.
Yeah.
And he checked all those boxes. He did every single one of those things that everybody told him not to do. So I would say that things are going pretty much as predicted.
So how does it, you're so in touch with your audience. I mean, you spend hours a day, every day, talking to your audience.
Absolutely.
How does it land when he says something like, gives himself a grade, A++++ on the economy? How does that land?
Well, he's doing the same thing that, Democrats were doing last year when they were trying to tout Bidenomics. Yeah. And you're trying to tell people that what they actually feel in their pockets isn't real. Oh, the stock market is great. The people I'm talking to don't have stocks. Yeah. The grocery prices are down. Like, no, they're actually in the grocery store every day and they see that they're not.
What's broken through? And have people, because I get a sense that people to a degree are tuning out of a lot of this stuff.
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't know if they're tuning out. I do know that people can't see past their bills.
Yeah.
So when you can't see past your own bills, that's the thing that you're always constantly focusing on. And so everything else does feel like a distraction, but I feel like the Epstein files absolutely positively cut through, at least to his base, to the people who will defend him to the death, and ride with him no matter what. Something about those Epstein files finally made them say, oh, he's lying. And I think since then they've paid attention to every other lie that he has spewed.
How should Democrats approach Trump now?
I think that their approach this year has been relatively strong for a party that has no power.
No power at all.
You know what I mean? I think that they have done something that we usually don't see them do, which is fight, right? But they're fighting kind of with their hands tied behind their back. And everybody's got different approaches, but you would expect that from a big tent party. Yeah. Democrats are not monolithic.
I remember you telling me, way before Biden dropped out, you were warning about Biden and whether or not he had it in him to run again.
Absolutely.
And you said to me he had no main character energy.
None.
So what do you see now when you look out? I counted recently, I think there's like 20 Democrats that I can count who are likely to run for president. Mm-hmm. Who do you see that's got that main character energy?
I mean, there's a lot of people who got main character energy, but I think that what people are concerned about now, it's not about how you, it is about how you campaign, but it's more so about how you govern.
Yeah.
So I think that what people are going to be looking at are people's actual records, right? Like literally. So even if you are able to cut through, like a Gavin Newsom is cutting through, people are going to really look at his record because they've seen, what he's done in California. And I think things like people's records are actually going to come back to haunt them, when they decide to run for president. So, but I do think governors are going to have the best chance, like the Governor Westmore's, the Governor Josh Shapiro's, the Governor Pritz's, the Governor Newsom's. They're going to have the best opportunity because they have an actual record.
I mean, for Trump, he had no record when he ran, but he was able to break through. I mean, he, captured the imagination he captured the Republican Party.
And he had a fantastic campaign. Y'all can be like, listen, you don't have to like the guy, but we cannot act like, his campaigns weren't incredible. And I mean, even somebody like Mondani took a lot of Trump's messaging, the whole messaging of affordability, right? Like that's what Trump said. I won the election off one word, groceries.
Social media.
In social media, like the three things, it's so funny. Like Democrats talk about Mondani galvanized young people. He used social media and he talked about affordability. And Democrats act like those were three revolutionary things, as if they haven't done those things before. It's the economy, stupid. That was Bill Clinton in the 90s, right? Galvanizing young people, that was Barack Obama. Using social media, that was Barack Obama. So these three basic things that Mondani did, Democrats seem to have forgotten about, and they praise him so much for it. And they should, because he ran a fantastic campaign as well. But a lot of his messaging was Trump-like messaging. Affordability, New York first, which is similar to America's first. All of that, was able to cut through. But that goes back to what I always say. Man, we complicate these things. Americans want two things. They want more money in their pocket, and they want to feel safe. If you can make people feel like you're going to put more money in their pocket and you're going to make them feel safe, you'll energize them every time.
Trump campaigned obviously on the border crime and like you said, he didn't call it affordability, but on high prices. Where has he succeeded?
I would say probably the border, but it's the way that it's happening, right? I mean, if the numbers are true, people aren't, coming across the border anymore. But I mean, man, do you really want to see people who've, been here for years, who are actual citizens, are trying to go through the process to get legal citizenship? Do you really want to see them snatched off the street the way that they are? Do Latino people need to just live in fear?
I mean, he did better among Hispanics than like any Republican on record.
Yeah, only to pop out and say, "Gotcha." And I really just wonder what goes through their minds and how are they going to vote come 2026? How are they going to vote come 2028? Because they bought into the dream, but that dream turned into a nightmare.
What most surprised you about 2025 on the political front?
The lack of, I was about to say the lack of respect for the working class. Because I always knew that America didn't give a damn about poor people, right? America doesn't care about poor people. America doesn't really care about, people just trying to make it every day, just trying to survive. But really, man, from everything from the Doge cuts earlier in the year to the government shutdown, like people really have no idea. Politicians really have no idea what their constituents are going through. We don't even talk about all the people whose lives Doge ruined early in the year. Then you fast forward and you get, to the government shutdown. And I understand that, they were taking a stand for people's health care. But just the fact that they weren't even thinking about all the government workers that were also
paychecks.
out of work, who are still, right now, as they're watching this on television, trying to catch up.
And what do you expect for 2026? What's your biggest hope? Let's try to end here on a hopeful note. What do you hope for?
I hope that politicians get their act together. It does give me hope to see some of the Republicans finally saying, whoa, like, that ain't right. Like, I mean, I'm even just on like just regular moral human issues, right? When he made those comments about Rob Reiner, it's just like, just to see Republicans step up and be like, all right, bro, that's too far. Like, I'm just finally happy to see people on that side, the right side, say, hey, that's too far. Like, do I trust Marjorie Taylor Greene? No. Do I believe Marjorie Taylor Greene? I didn't at first, starting to a little bit, because at some point, your conscience has to kick in. At some point, your moral, clarity as a human has to be like, nah, that's not what I want to be a part of. So I hope to see more of that, and I hope to see Democrats, continue to get their messaging together. But I also don't want people to think that Democrats have to have one message.
Yeah.
When you talk about a big tent party, I think that we really have to look at it in that way. Everybody in that party is going to be doing different things, but if they all have the same goal, I think that could be what's best for America.
Our thanks to Charlamagne.